You're winning on paper, but behind closed doors, you feel lost. Back in 2014, I was making six figures. I had the money, I had the house, I had everything. At least I thought. Between 2014 to 2016, this was a weird period. Me and my kid's mom, we ended up going through a bunch of stuff that I didn't even know because like I had the money, I had all this stuff, and I wasn't taught about any of this, like the five pillars I'm about to get into. So the only thing I knew when I was growing up is that I didn't want to grow up without anything. I didn't want to ever need anything. And this thing, what I'm about to tell you, like this video, is gonna break down the stuff that I've learned since then because this was my relationship. I guess you could put fell apart. Obviously, it's probably something. It's longer than that, right? It just doesn't fall apart overnight. But between these, this is the most critical part. So from 2016 up until we'll say now, I've invested 250,000 in self development, trying to figure out what's what, trying to figure out where I went wrong because after me and her split up, I was thinking like, man, if I get into another relationship, like it's gonna end up the same way, you know. So you only know what you know, and I didn't know anything besides making money. So that's the point of this video, and I actually made a PDF. If you click the link in the bio, you can download it for free, and it'll go over just the frame. It's 9 pages. It'll go over the framework about what we're doing here today, and it has a couple of questions in there to help you steer you in the right direction. Just because of the fact that if you're chasing the bag and everything else is like every other part of life is not doing that great, you're gonna get to a point where it's just like, man, you're never gonna feel fulfilled, you know. So I spent $250,000 self development in the last 9 years, more or less. I've had mentors like Chase Hughes, Patrick Bet-David, all kinds of mentors since then, trying to figure out what's what. And this last year has been really impactful for me because everything I learned in for 8 years kind of wrapped everything up literally like a little over a year now. And I came up with this formula or this framework, if you will. And it's the exact same framework that you have in the PDF. All right, so here's something I know about you. You've read the books, you bought courses, you got mentorships, and nothing's worked, right? Like you have the money, but you're still lost. That's literally what I was going through. And so what ended up happening is right now is that you're just spending all this cash and nothing's ever working. But the cool thing about it is that you're watching this video, that means you haven't gave up. So kudos to you for that. The real problem is this. These 5 areas right here, they don't teach us to check on them. Like literally right now, without even grabbing the PDF, just rate yourself 1 through 10 on each one. See where you're at. This alone will tell you what you need to work on. Like this alone. This is where the shift has to happen. The shift has to happen right here, one of these areas. You see, because you could have the money, but if you're, health is wealth. If you're not healthy, not fit, not eating right, not taking care of yourself, come on. You're just gonna get sick. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff that happens besides this. And I had a whole nother presentation, but I'm just gonna tell you how it is. So the faith part too. Now this is not religious. I'm talking about you can call it the universe, you can call it God, whatever it is you call it. But if you don't have no faith, it's kind of hard to figure out the whole purpose. Because then you start, like, whenever you do have faith and you do believe, like me myself in the beginning, I was thinking when, like, I wasn't religious or anything, but I was just thinking like, man, if I'm part of the universe, then I know for a fact that it wants me to win. But there's just something I'm not catching. You know, like, what is it that I'm supposed to learn from this one deal, from this one situation? The self-mastery, that's discipline. If Nipsey had this thing talking about that if you don't tell the world who you are, the world will tell you who you are. Self-mastery is a big deal, as a matter of fact. Because if you don't have control of yourself, how can you even have control of anything else? You know, it's one of the things I learned along the way, is that if you don't have control of what's going on in here, you can't lead nobody. You can't lead yourself. Can't get up on time. Can't do none of that. It's pointless. Finance, and I probably spelled that wrong, but finance, you have to know exactly where you're at and where you need to be, because this is part of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You know, the pyramid, the five stages. And so, but if you have some money put aside, you won't live in scarcity. You won't live in that vibration, that low vibration. So you can actually focus on this other stuff. Relationships, this is basically talking about like your family. Anybody you care about. Communicating with them, hearing them out, understanding like different things about them. Like one of the things that I picked up on whenever I was doing this, I found out about that book, The 5 Love Languages. That really helped me out, especially with my kids, trying to figure out how it is that I just wanted to make sure that they understood that I cared about them, right? And doing things for them is cool, obviously, like being present and stuff. But you take it to another level whenever you figure out, like, not just the 5 love languages, right? Or how they want to be loved and cared for, but understand how they want to communicate. Like, that's a big deal. Understanding what they're saying without saying it. Because, like, these small things, like, they tell you about a game. You know, it's a game, like, you don't care about it, you're not playing it. But to them right now, that's like their world. So you ask them questions about it, be engaged with it, provoke thought. You know what I mean? Like, get them to think. So relationships, keeping meaningful relationships with the people that you actually care about. So all these things, that PDF that I got, it's in the bottom of the deal. Literally, if you just check this out, check out that 9-page PDF. It's got like 2 questions for each one. It'll tell you more or less where you're at. It's just 2 questions. You can dive deeper though. Like, you can literally put the PDF in ChatGPT or ask it to create more questions. And you can actually come up with whatever it is that you need to come up with. And then whatever area you score low at, like, work on that. But I would start with this one first, because without this one, it's going to be hard to do any of the other ones. Most of the people that are watching this video though right now, I will say this, they're probably, their finance one, this one's probably, they're probably like an 8 out of 10 right here. So these are the other ones you probably got to work on. I'm more than sure if I'm talking to you right now, if you're watching this video, the finance you already got down. It's just these other areas, they have leaks in them. You got to plug the leaks. You got to figure out what's what. All right, so now that you know about the pillars, you know all this stuff. This video can be like 20 minutes. It could be an hour. It could be hours. I could be talking about this for hours. Here's 3 things that you can do, like, right now. Number 1, do a self-audit on the 5 pillars. Download the PDF. Or you already know the 5 pillars. Just ask yourself questions to see where you're at. Rate yourself 1 to 10. Just pick a pillar to work on. That's the second thing, is pick one. Don't work on everything, because if you work on your focus is everywhere, you ain't never gonna do anything. Focus on one thing at a time, get it locked in, and then work on the next one. Create a game plan. The third one is take action a day. Take action a day. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for the next day. Take action today. Do something today. Make a difference today. You remember, yesterday I already went. Tomorrow's never getting here. All you have is today. So I hope this was helpful. If you haven't already, download that PDF that's in the bottom. And if you already did the PDF and you're stuck, let's say you did all this stuff and you're stuck, I put a link in the description, just a free call. It's a 30-minute call. We'll basically go over where you're at after you fill out the 5 pillars. Do the 5 pillars. We'll figure out where you're at, and we'll see what the next move can be. You know, so schedule an appointment or schedule a consultation, free of charge. I don't have a course or anything. So, but I figured if you guys are doing this, you're going to need some help with these 5 pillars. So click the link in the description, book a call with me, and I'll see you on the call.